determine whether or not something is successful. So Dawn and her team, all of the auto clients we work with, all of the entertainment clients we'll work with, are starting to move towards, if I spend X on search, what is the ultimate return that I'm getting? So analytics in general is something that's becoming very powerful. And then assigning true value to those measurements that you're interested in. I read an interesting blog post recently. It's from a guy who works at Google. His name's Avinash Kaushik. He's basically an evangelist around analytics, just believes in data, and he talks about it. And he mentioned the fact that ultimately it comes down to whether or not you're measuring the right thing. So people always talk about branding campaigns, and his theory on that is, well, that's bullshit. What are you really trying to accomplish? What is the end objective you want from that consumer who's engaging with your brand, and then figuring out a way to actually measure it. So I think we're seeing extreme focus on measurement, extreme focus on return on investment.
Okay, so Terry, that's my biggest surprise. That extreme focus on SEO has not translated into more traditional video or traditional television. Seems like it should. You know, Ken's got a lot of metrics he's happy to sell you, right? We've got a lot of folks actually working on the search side. I mean, you can really dial in. So I don't know what it is, to be honest with you. I don't know if it's that traditional buying has continued in the way that it has for years and years or decades. But there's a gap, there's a gulf between those two. And I 5 years ago, maybe you have it on your paper there, when I said, the new agency was going to be the stat shop, the quant jocks, right? Hasn't happened yet. I know you keep hoping it will. I do too. But for traditional television, or for television, really even online, it has not happened yet.
Ken, you agree with that?
I do.
Why do you think that's the case?
I don't know why it's. I don't know why it's honestly. I don't know why it is.
I think the buyers haven't, for whatever reason, the buyers haven't been.
Well,
either.
You're talking about video, right?
Yeah.
Part of the challenge is production. One of the challenges that agencies have to do is, they're used to creating 30-second spots that cost a lot of money. And what they need to recognize is that consumers don't necessarily have to have the same quality online that they do on your television screen. So I think one of the ways that an agency can be successful is figuring out a way to create custom content inexpensively so that they can customize their message in VOD. Because the experience is different online than it is when you're watching it in front of your television set. And the person who understands that and recognizes that and builds their creative to influence that is the one that's going to break through.
So how has the design of a media plan changed over, let's say, the past year, in light of the platforms, the metrics, the analytics, experience? How was the pitch a year ago compared to today, or is it the same?
I actually think it's become easier because we now have more metrics to help the client understand why what we're recommending is the right decision for them. And you can probably attest to that as well. I mean, for us, it always comes back to the customer. Like I said, it's customer on demand, and the customer chooses the platform. And the way we do that is by intimately understanding the customer. We know them personally, and we basically personalize every single plan. So I don't have one answer for Toyota. I have 17 answers based upon how many models that they have. So if I have deeper insights into understanding not just what media they use, but why they use it and how they use it, that helps me make a more informed recommendation, and then the analytics help me prove that that recommendation was solid and then delivered on what they wanted. And that's what our roaming team does.
To follow up on Don's point, which I agree with, the approach that we're taking